Hi, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Victor Msonda. I welcome you all to our Real Talk Show program that is brought to you by the Zambia Youth Platform. And I'm glad to be here today, 28th April, when you commemorate and remember our founding president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, who also was championing the cause and of HIV. And today I'm not alone. I'm joined by Oswald Chisenga. Oswald, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Victor. How are you?
Fine, fine. And we're also joined by Shadrick, our sign language interpreter. And today, our topic of discussion is understanding you is equal to you. How can we achieve what is known as you is equal to you? And so, in helping us understand and break down this important topic of discussion today, I'll start by allowing Oswald to make us understand what you is equal to you. And maybe before Oswald, you tackle that, maybe just help us to give a background to where you is equal to is coming from by helping us understand what HIV and what AIDS basically is. Oswald.
Well, thank you very much, Victor. Well, U equals to U is a short name for undetectable equals to untransmittable. This is whereby somebody who's been on effective treatment, ARVs, is able to attain undetectable viral load, and with that, they cannot transmit HIV to their sexual partner. And which is a win-win situation to somebody living with HIV, because if you're able to look back, Victor, for a lot of years, we've had that perception where HIV has been seen as a deadly virus, where anyone who has it is bound to die from it. But today, we are looking at something very different, where somebody who is having an undetectable viral load can have a very productive lifestyle, a very positive HIV journey. They can have children who are HIV negative, and at the end of the day, they also get to maintain a suppressed undetectable viral load, and it's a plus to somebody like me. In addition to what I've said, I'm a youth living with HIV. I'm coming from an organization called Phenomenal Youth Association, a youth-led organization that is championing and fighting stigma and discrimination associated with being HIV positive. We also advocate for acceptance, we advocate for adherence, because these are the key drivers to somebody attaining undetectable viral load. These are the key barriers for somebody to have a very positive lifestyle, an HIV positive lifestyle. So yeah, that is just simpler terms about you equals you.
All right, great. Also, that's a good a background to what we are discussing today. And I'm glad that you've mentioned that you're a young person living with HIV. And having said that, I think it makes the young people out there who haven't come out to accept that they're living with HIV, to find ways and means of benefiting from this topic, be you being a trendsetter of having disclosed your HIV status. But maybe for now, let's just go back a little bit and discuss how HIV can be acquired. So how can HIV be acquired? I know a lot of people have heard about this, but I think there's no harm in repeating so that we can just reinforce the understanding. So how can HIV be acquired? And I would like you to, zero in on the risks that put adolescents and young people but makes them at risk of acquiring HIV. So also, how is HIV acquired?
Okay, thank you. That's a very, very good question. Well, HIV is acquired in different modes. We have the main one that is through sexual intercourse. If you look at our society right now, or the society that we've just lived in, we get to perceive anybody that is HIV positive to be having a bad sexual relations and a lot more and that's why they are HIV positive. So one can acquire HIV through sex. One can acquire HIV through using utensils, laser braids, needles, which are not even known where they're coming from. Also lasers. Then another mode of transmission is through mother to child transmission. So a child can be born with HIV from a mother that is HIV positive. Now, this mother possibly, maybe she's not on treatment or she has not been adhering to treatment. For her to have a viral load that is suppressed, that is undetectable, for her to ensure that the risks of transmitting HIV are very minimal or slim. So yeah. Now coming to the question that you've asked on young people, we are living in a world or a generation where we are more worried about impregnating somebody than acquiring HIV. It's a
Exactly.
generation that is very tricky and very uh, different from where we are coming from. So it really needs strategies which are very sensitive and strategies which are very uh, fruitful, foreseeable fruitful. Um, when it comes to our generation, we want to try things. We want to try everything. We've seen young people getting pregnant, young ladies, young women and girls get pregnant on a daily basis. Uh, when you look at somebody that is pregnant, then you're guaranteed that the sex took place, unprotected sex took place. And if there is unprotected sex, then definitely there's a possibility that one can acquire HIV or other sexually transmitted diseases or infections. So
Right.
when it comes to us as a generation, it's we need to be aware. Now, to a youth out there that is living with HIV or was born with HIV or just acquired HIV, got to find out about their HIV status along the way, they should know that there is life after HIV diagnosis, as long
Absolutely.
as one is adherent to treatment. I've been on treatment
Hmm.
for since I was 15, and
Okay.
I'm I've been on treatment for the last 18 years, and it's so
Okay,
much
great.
beautiful how the treatment has just shaped me and done wonders for me and people around me, my peers, as I would say. So effective treatment is the key to adhering to treatment, also living a very positive lifestyle.
All right, great. Thank you for that insight. And it just to bring our young people to terms with this, when we talk about HIV in young people, we also look at two types of young people. There are those like you've rightly mentioned that those who may actually acquire HIV when they are already adolescents, and then there are those who may acquire HIV through from their mother, which is called vertical transmission. So when we are discussing adolescents, our dear young people there, whenever you hear somebody coming out in the open, like Oswald has done, it may not necessarily mean that they're the ones they acquired HIV through sexual intercourse. There are so many ways in which HIV can be acquired. But importantly, like I've mentioned, there are two categories. One are those young people who acquire HIV from their mothers, and then there are those who acquire HIV as they are growing up. And so now, having discussed this, we look at the details about you is equal to you. Why is you equal to you important? So, like you've mentioned, um, uh, you mentioned that you started taking ART at the age of is it 15?
Yes,
Is that so?
yes,
What?
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
so at the age of 15, young people, you've seen Oswald is gradually getting older and most likely getting to the years of KK in the next so many years. But what has kept him up to where he is and looking as healthy as he is basically by adhering to treatment. Because when you're adhering to treatment, that is when you are going to achieve undetectable viral suppression. So, having said this, the standard also, in addition to what you've said, is that when one has started treatment, when a person has started treatment, let's say today you test HIV positive and then you start treatment today, the standard is that by the time you are hitting 6 months on treatment, you should start having undetectable viral loads, meaning that you've got HIV, but the viruses are so minimal that they can't even be picked by the machines that we use in the hospitals. So what is the importance then also of having an undetectable viral load?
Well, the importance of having undetectable viral load, you get to minimize the risks of transmitting HIV. Firstly, one thing that the public should understand is when you're undetectable, when you're having undetectable viral load, it does not mean that you are cured. No, it just means that your treatment is working, you're doing everything necessary, like you're living a very positive lifestyle, and the HIV is still there, but it's just hiding. And the moment you decide to default or to stop, then you can imagine what can happen to your body. It's like you've been starving the whole day, maybe for 2 days, you have not eaten anything, due maybe to suffer financial issues, and then you find food. You can imagine what you can do to that food within a few minutes. Now, the HIV gets to starve when you are adhering to treatment, meaning it's not having food, it's not having its time to reciprocate, to grow, to expand, to do anything. Its movement are very restricted in your body, meaning you have taken control of your body and you are almost safe, but it does not mean you are cured. You keep adhering to treatment so that you do not risk you do not have any risks of relapses. The importance of having undetectable viral load is you minimize the chances of transmitting or passing HIV to your sexual partners. Now, here is why U equals U is a game changer. The goal is to end AIDS by 2030.
Yes.
And a lot of us were born with HIV. The barriers to having a successful positive lifestyle, we have high levels of stigma and discrimination among people living with HIV. If we can look at it from a different perception, then definitely we can do something or win the war against HIV by 2030. But these are the
Just
barriers that
Just to hold your thought there. So, since you are one of the young people who've come out in the open and disclosed their HIV status, which is something that is very commendable, and we applaud you for having done that. So, are you suppressed since you started taking treatment a long time ago? Are you now suppressed? Is your viral load undetectable? And if so, how did you achieve undetectable viral load as a young person?
Oh, thank you very much for the wonderful question, Victor. Yes, I'm very, very surprised. I'm undetectable, actually. I'm undetectable. I've been undetectable for some years now. And I'm married. I'm having a child. I'm married to a woman who's HIV positive as well. We have an HIV negative child. That is the power of U equals U. You know, you are able to have a family. You are able to have a family of your own. The big thought that many people living with HIV get to have is, am I even going to have a family of my own? Am I not going to transmit it? When it comes to the ladies, the fear of transmitting HIV to their unborn baby is just too much. Now, this is where I say again, this is why U equals U is a game changer. You get to have that feeling that the best thing that I can do for now is to adhere to my treatment, stick to one sexual partner, live a positive lifestyle, and let your drugs do the talking. You let the drugs do the walking, and everything flows. And at the end of the day, you attain your undetectable viral load. At the end of the day, you minimize or you cut the chances of passing HIV to your sexual partner, your husband, your fiancé, your boyfriend. You cut the chances of passing the HIV to them. And with that, you do your part as somebody who is fighting AIDS, who is fighting to end hate. And It starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with all of us, but we all have to play our part. Then
I
secondly,
applaud
it
you.
also
Yeah.
helps you, also gives you the courage to disclose your HIV status. We have a lot of young people that are in relationships or marriages, and
Hmm.
the fear to disclose is just so high.
Yes,
Try to find means in how you can put you equals you into your disclosure statement. How you can put you equals you, because I deal with a lot of youth around the country, and the main topic that pops up is how do I disclose my HIV status to my partner? Then my question is,
okay,
how long have you been on treatment? Have you been a dear? Oh, I'm actually undetectable. Then I'm like, look, when you are having a talk with your partner, do not show like you are feeling sorry for yourself, like it's a very bad thing. That's the major pull for somebody who is getting to hear that their partner is HIV positive. There's nothing to
that's
be
great.
sad about. There's nothing to be
I
sad
great.
about. There's nothing to cry about. The best part is you say it with an excitement. Look, I've been on drugs. I was born with
Absolutely.
HIV positive, and I am HIV positive. I have been adhering to my treatment, and I'm undetectable, meaning I cannot pass HIV to you as
Thank you.
long as I'm adhering to my treatment. So yeah, that is my two
Okay,
cents on it.
just to hold you there. I know you are excited about the journey that you've had from the time it is a positive and being on treatment, but I want to bring you to your interaction with the healthcare providers and helping the young person there understand how they can benefit from the healthcare provider. So before we allow our viewers to participate by way of asking questions, I want you to just highlight a few challenges that a young person can face, like you, in trying to achieve undetectable viral load. So, what are some of the few challenges one can actually encounter, and so that we can help them address those challenges? Also,
Okay, so the challenges are many. Topping the list, I would say disclosure. Disclosure is a very, very big hindrance to somebody who's living with HIV. It's a problem how to disclose. From my observation, it's been one of the reasons that we get to have these high new uh, big numbers of new infections and reinfections among people living with HIV. If somebody is having undetectable viral load, they need to know. When you look at the healthcare providers, I feel like this is the best news that they can share with somebody who is positive. An healthcare provider should mention the importance of attending undetectable viral load. It is a plus. When I first came across news about undetectable viral load, it brought the light at the end of my tunnel because I knew that one, I can control my HIV. Two, I can have a family of my own. Three, I can go and study wherever I want and become whatever I want. If as long as I set my goals high and I do everything that is needed. So the
okay,
barriers is
great. So,
the major barriers is to ensure that the healthcare providers get to have the right information. But topping the list is to
yes,
ensure that they share that when you are undetectable, it does not mean that you are cured. No, it simply means that treatment is working and do your part. Let
hmm,
treatment keep working. Just keep adhering to your treatment. So disclosure has been one of the barriers.
okay,
Then we are also having high levels of stigma and discrimination in our communities.
great. So, having talked about stigma and discrimination, I want you to answer this question in one statement. When you were selecting a marriage partner, did you decide to marry one who is HIV positive deliberately because of a status, or you wanted somebody who is negative? Why I'm asking this is because I've seen on social media some people posting to say I'm HIV positive and I want to marry somebody who's positive. In one statement, 1 second, did you decide to marry somebody who's HIV positive or negative?
And no, I did not decide to marry somebody positive because of my status. Vama love, you just simply fall into it without even expectation. I fell in love. I really fell in love. She's the first lady I ever dated who was positive. I've only dated
Okay.
people that have been negative as far as I've been concerned. So with this positive
Okay, great.
lady that I married, I just fell in love with her, and I fell in love with her character and who she is, and that vocality when it comes to HIV issues. So it was a plus. Her being HIV positive was not
Okay.
something that I was even looking at. Yeah.
Okay. So how can then young people like you, how can the healthcare providers work with us, young people and you, how can we work together with healthcare providers to ensure that we reach you is equal to you also what?
Well, by ensuring that the right information on undetectable equals to untransmittable is right, also emphasizing on those people that are also already having undetectable viral load to ensure that they adhere to treatment, no matter how their undetectable viral load is. They should keep adhering to treatment, also having much knowledge on U equals U, because the moment one decides to default thinking that they are cured, then HIV pounces like no man's business. So the healthcare providers, let
Okay.
them share this information to young people, especially those who are collecting drugs in their centers. Let this information be
Okay.
shared so that my generation gets to have vital information that I need to attend undetectable viral load so that I do not get to have opportunistic infections, so that I do not
Absolutely.
get to have reinfections by having sexual relations with somebody whose status I don't know, or somebody who is HIV positive status, but the viral load I don't know. So yeah, those when you give such information, it leaves one to be with that clear, smart mind of what they can bring close to them or what they cannot bring close to them. Because now you are smart about everything. You cannot tolerate anything to come close
Okay.
to you that you know that it will bring something else.
All right. When we're having a wonderful discussion, time, is not our best ally, but just to help our young people understand the health care providers and the health centers that we have in various district localities. They have got what is known as youth-friendly spaces. They also have trained healthcare providers who've got a youth-friendly, who create an environment that is youth-friendly. So there are some of the things that are done at healthcare, at health centers, which will help young people who are living with HIV or anyone else who is living with HIV and wanting to have a viral suppressed. So one, you as a young person can join a support group where you're going to meet other young people like Oswald who are living with HIV, and then they're going to help you through the steps that help them to come to terms with the fact that they're living with HIV. The other health centers also have specific days when they actually do attend to young people who are living with HIV. Then you also have young people who are going to school. They may not be able to come to the facility to get the ARV medication. We also have a special program for them where we can create time away from the normal schedules of the health facility and be able to provide ART even on a weekend or after working hours. And then importantly, also have what is called community dispensation, where we can, as healthcare providers, take the ARV drugs nearer to the community, because that is in line with the mission statements of Ministry of Health, which says taking healthcare services as close to the community as possible. So having said that also, do we have any questions or feedback from our viewers that you may want to attend to as we are coming to close of a show? Do we have any
Well,
questions
I'm
from
unable.
our viewers also?
Okay. I'm
Okay,
just reading word from Liko saying, keep on educating us, watching you from Miteta district. Thank you.
great.
Uh, Victoria says, a very
Okay,
rich
so we
conversation.
appreciate your feedback, and even after this program, as a young person, you have any question, feel free to hit Zambia Youth Platform Facebook page and ask your questions, or Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. You can ask those questions, and then we'll be able to attend to those questions even after the program has ended. We'll give you feedback. If you want to connect to Oswald, and have a one-on-one discussion to be able to facilitate. That's what you're able to actually access Oswald. So Oswald, as we are coming to the end of our show, I want you to just stress the importance of having undetectable viral in as far as reaching HIV-free 2030 among young people especially.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. So we have the key drivers that are barriers to ending AIDS by 2030. That is number one, top in the list is stigma and discrimination. These, when it comes to stigma and discrimination, you even get to have a self one where you feel like you're not valid, you're worthless, you have no future, and there is no hope. But believe me, look at it from the other aspect. I'm a youth that was born with HIV, and I have a fair share of my ups and downs, health-wise. If I can do it, then definitely you can. But only this time you have somebody that you are looking up to and somebody that is an example. Attending undetectable viral load, also your mind will play the part, because whatever you feed your mind gets to reciprocate to the body of how you want it to be. So adhere to your treatment, avoid stress, live a positive lifestyle, stick to one sexual partner, and again adhere to your treatment. That way, you will attain undetectable viral load. Secondly, do not hear what people are saying. Focus on your body, focus on your health, focus on your mental health, and your undetectable viral load will take you places. You have an HIV negative family, and life goes on.
Okay, seem to be having a challenge with your connection, Oswald there, but have a good connection and be able to, explain further this week's discussion, because I know absolutely is going to help a youth and a young person out there. So, just to echo what Oswald has been saying, undetectable is equal to untransmittable. So when you're having Are you there? Or I lost connection. Oswald, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I almost jumped in.
Oh, can pick it up. I seem to have some internet connection issue, but however, we'll continue with the discussion also. And as we're coming to the close of our show, I was just trying to emphasize the fact that it's important as young people to achieve you is equal to you and is married and is having children who are HIV negative. All that is because when you have a suppressed VL, the chance of you transmitting to other people is also reduced. But also then, as we are coming to the end of the program, it's important as young people to appeal to stakeholders, the government, the MOH, and other partners on what some of the strategies that you would want to see being implemented from means of health level to other partners to ensure that we are achieving undetectable viral. So in a few minutes, how would you want that to be done? What are some of the strategies would you want to advocate for as a young person?
As a young person, I would love to advocate for a lot of viral load machines because they're a little bit scarce. Not many art centers get to have these viral load machines. We have noticed that when somebody is HIV positive, one of the things that is checked apart from checked, it's the viral load itself. And it's been seen that it's one major thing that is very important to bring down. So if we can have a lot of viral load machines, I think it will be a little bit quicker for people to know how they are moving with their body, with their health, and the results can be coming out a little bit quicker, and people will make sound and good decisions about their health. And not only about that, I would also ask or advocate for a lot of sensitization on stigma and discrimination. We have these HIVs in our homes, it's in our families, it's with our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, our uncles, our aunties. Majority of these people, they don't even want to talk about HIV. They don't even want you to do anything that has to do with HIV. Let us have HIV topics in our homes. If we have to win this war, then it should be a topic, our daily topic in our homes. We should not be talking about HIV related issues on World AIDS Day. It's not right. And if we are able to do that, I believe we will do better in our fight against HIV and AIDS. Thank you very much.
Great, Oswald. Thank you so much for that insight. And just to, in addition to what you have said, it's important that even as we strive to achieve you is equal to you, we should always remember, like Oswald has mentioned, that the single most important factor to you achieving viral suppression is you being adherent to treatment. So take your medication as has been prescribed by the healthcare provider and follow all the food restrictions, if at all there will be any that they may give you. Take them as they have been prescribed by the healthcare provider, and also don't miss your appointments. And also the beauty about it now is that you need to keep track of your viral load as you are taking medication, if you're on medication. And it's important to remember that when you start treatment, the first time you're going to do your viral load is right at the beginning of your treatment. So if you start treatment today, at the health, you're going to take a blood sample and do your viral as a baseline viral, and also after 6 months you do your viral. After 1 year you do another viral, and thereafter you'll be doing a viral once per year. And along this, you also be visiting the facilities only twice in a year. So that is made possible to allow you to have ample time and also be able to adhere to treatment, because it's going to give you more time to spend on your own, on going about your daily routine activities than spending all that time in the health center. So in a year, you only be going twice if you are suppressed. So also, do we have any other feedback or questions from the viewers which you want us to address before we move on to our last and summarize our discussion this afternoon?
No, I think I haven't seen any question. Just the keep up the good works messages.
Okay, we seem to be getting to maybe help us understand one important aspect of disclosure. You talked about disclosure. How easy was it for you to disclose your HIV status to your partner?
Well,
Oswald.
It wasn't tough because I've been public since I was I think 16 or 17, and I've had my ups and downs with my disclosure, because I disclosed my HIV status to the world. Almost everybody in my community knew about my HIV status. Everywhere I am, people get to know my HIV status before I even say it. So when it comes to my woman, when it came to my woman, it wasn't a difficult thing to do, because she knew my status before I even said it. As I mentioned, I've been public with my HIV status for some years now. It's been over a decade, clocking 2 decades now.
Okay, are there specific steps that you took in disclosing your status to your partner? Are there specific steps that you did? How were you helped by the healthcare providers to ensure that you actually disclose your HIV status to your partner? what are some of the steps that a young person can actually take to disclose HIV status?
Well, the action steps, you get to assess the person that you are talking to. How much information are they having on HIV? If I tell them this information, how are they going to act? Are they going to share this information to everybody? So those are the major things that one needs to look at when they want to disclose. Then also, how is the relationship? Is it serious or is just playing? There's some relationship where you're able to tell where you're going and where you're not, if the journey is going far or not. So you get to assess the understanding or the knowledge of your partner when it comes to HIV issues. That way, it creates room for you to know the right words to say. Also, the approach that you can use when it comes to disclosure. So those are the pointers that you can look at. If it's difficult, then you can visit any health center
Thank you, Oswald,
and
for
you'll be
that.
very much advised on disclosure.
Okay, great. Thank you, Oswald. Thank you for that insightful discussion. I want to appreciate that you took time to come and share your experience, a young person, about you living with HIV. It's not an easy thing, and we hope that somebody has been encouraged. And we have a question from Fanny Mwene: what happens to someone who is on treatment and they missed drugs? So it's important, Fanny, thank you for the question, by the way. It's important that the person who starts treatment does not miss any drug. If they're having any challenges in taking drugs, that is adherence, would encourage that person to reach out to the healthcare providers where they'll be, where they'll be taught on how to actually adhere to treatment. So we're coming to the end of our show, and I want to thank all our participants, the viewers, and those that joined us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and various platforms. And also big thank you to you, Oswald, for coming through and sharing your experience with young people. Your closing remarks, under 1 minute, Oswald. What is your last comment, remark to the young person out there?
Okay. So my last remarks is one, HIV diagnosis is not a death sentence. There's still life ahead of you, and you're not going to die anytime soon. First thing, accept your HIV status so that you have a flow with adherence, so that you do not get to stigmatize yourself or discriminate yourself from people around you. Secondly, find or read information on HIV so that you are even able to understand the phase you are at. Then lastly, ensure that you attend Undetectable viral loads. That way, it gives you the chance of being and doing great things, not only for you, but also for your family. And you get to have HIV negative children. If your girlfriend, if your husband or your fiancé is HIV negative, they get to maintain their HIV negative status, and we grow, we do better. We let HIV die with us.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Oswald. Unfortunately, we're coming to the end of the program. That's all the time that has been allocated to us on Zambia Youth Platform. I encourage you all to go on our Facebook page on Zambia Youth Platform and be able to interact with us, continue the interaction, and be able to give feedback and get help when you need it be. Remember, you is equal to you, and when we have suppressed viral, it means that we are reducing the risk of transmission of HIV, and thereby we are going to end HIV by 2030. I'm Victor Msonda. I've been your host today, and want to thank you all for tuning in, and see you next week at the same time. Remember, it's 14 hours on the Zambia Youth Platform page, YouTube, Twitter, and all these are social media platforms. For now, bye-bye, and God bless you.